Up next from Refusing to Forget, more dishonest interpretation. Quote, military officers became increasingly alarmed at the conduct of the Rangers and other law enforcement officers. As mass executions began, the Secretary of State telegraphed Texas Governor James Ferguson to enlist his support in, quote, quieting border conditions in the District of Brownsville by, quote, restraining indiscreet conduct, end quote. This oblique reference to lynchings was soon replaced by more pointed and adamant condemnations of state officials, such as General Frederick Funston's threat to put South Texas under martial law so as to restrain vigilantes, rangers, and law enforcement personnel. Refusing to Forget refuses to provide you with context. This is so bad, y'all. It was Governor Ferguson who initiated this communication. He telegrammed the Secretary of State requesting the federal government demand the de facto Mexican government to clamp down on the bandits ASAP. Secretary of State Lansing replied that, things would calm down if everybody just relaxed a little. He asked Governor Ferguson to tell law enforcement in Texas, stop showing hostility toward Mexicans. And in turn, he would tell the Mexican government to, quote, direct its officials and citizens to eschew hostility toward Americans, end quote. No oblique reference to lynchings, just the Secretary of State saying violence begets more violence and everybody needs to calm the hell down. As to General Funston's condemnation of state officials and threats of martial law to restrain the Rangers, wrong again. Completely out of context. Remember, this is the same man who not very long before asked permission to administer summary justice to Mexican raiders. Anyway, in September 1915, while the U.S. Army was engaging Carranza soldiers from across the Rio Grande near Brownsville, some Cameron County Yahoo sheriff deputies, in true boneheaded fashion, began firing their sidearms across the river too. Funston feared this would create an international incident and said he was so concerned with this repeated behavior in Brownsville, he'd recommend martial law if it didn't stop. So Governor Ferguson sends word to Cameron County that the dolts firing across the river must be fired. So no condemnations, no oblique lynching references, no Rangers, just the very active imaginations of Refusing to Forget and their blatant dishonesty.